Hello and welcome back to my GTNH playthrough. It is Friday, April the 17th, and we are out here in my desert base. Only to kind of show off the where I went on my side tangent today that was basically redoing the main controller, which we'll get to. But so I started building one of these, which this is just a solar tower. Now, obviously, or I shouldn't say obviously, if you don't know, these are like a lower tier of power from a while ago. They basically, let's see, solar tower. They basically use the solar salt and turn out hot solar salt, which then runs through the extreme heat exchanger into a regular turbine because that only gives us out. We follow it through. It only gives us superheated and supercritical, not the dense version. So it's not anything crazy by any means, but this is more just something I wanted to do just casually, like for funsies really, is make a little closed loop system and use that power for something. Because with some infinity rotors in here, we can actually get like, I believe, I may be misquoting the calculator, I don't have it in front of me, but I believe it can get like 3, maybe 4 amps of UHV. Now it does require an awful lot of steam per second, so I don't know if we'll actually be able to do that, but that's potentially a thing. But anyways, that's just a side project. And the whole reason I ended up messing around with, the reason I was even doing this was because I had started doing a bunch of big crafts. I basically was working towards 2 big multi-blocks at the same time to finish out UEV. One being the Quantum Force Transformer, which I just actually put in my inventory. I think I might actually have everything for this. I hadn't actually set it up yet, or I didn't realize it was finished crafting. So basically waiting on this to craft and everything for the grade 8 water at the same time. Let's see, neutron pulse. I know I have the quantum force. Let's check neutron. I cannot remember how much of this stuff does not look like I crafted the actual casing. Oh wait, no, there's the shielding cores done. I need to do the pulses still. Pulse casing, which how much of that did I need? Nearly 300 and UV circuit. Oh, that's why I didn't make it. It's because I didn't have enough quantum anomalies, which I did fix this problem as well because of this. But so I am going to make that craft right now. 236. Let's just do 240. Boom. Nope. Stupid carbon dust. Fire. Alright, there we go. So that'll finish crafting. The other one I was working towards is this absolute baryonic perfection unit. The grade 8 water. I wasn't originally going to go right for grade 8 water. I was going to mess around with this and then mess around a little bit on the UIV tab. And then I quickly realized you cannot get very far into UIV without the grade 8 water because you need this dimensionally shifted superfluid, which to make it takes all this stuff right here, these 5 ingredients. Well, there's literally grade 8 water right here, so you do need that, but also you need the stabilized baryonic matter, which specifically comes from as a byproduct of the grade 8 water line. So it's just that is a thing. So I started crafting that. I have everything crafted except for the primary casing for it, which is these quark exclusion casings. This is by far the most expensive part because it takes 4 UIV circuits per every 8 casings, and there's like 340 casings. I think it's technically 339. Either way, a lot. So I was crafting these. I canceled the craft mainly because of what I'm about to go to next, which is going through the controller, just because there were a little bit of growing pains for me fixing everything. But yeah, so that's why I was doing this. It was just to fill in some time and do a little fun side project because I wanted to do something different for a little bit while I was waiting. Anyways, so if we go back to the main base, power failed. Well, that's no good. Man. Why did it power fail is the real question. I'm gonna guess this device is obviously online. Oh, I see what happened. Well, that's a shame. Well, I'm glad I didn't blow up the energy hatches. It's because it's in the world and it rained while it was running, and there's a big old hole right there, so that's unfortunate. I will do... And the cable wasn't enough to cover it. That was just me being a rookie. Wasted some UEV batteries. Doo-doo-doo. I'll think of a prettier solution to this later. It's also weird that the cable, like, it's a UEV battery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go like this. Do I have the... Alright, those should be getting that. Let's see... One quantum anomaly, so I'll need to request another one of those. Maybe down here. Next one, start. Okay. That'll be fine. That's just, like I said, rookie mistake on my part. But anyways, back to what we're actually working on is... And, well, okay, so the reason I got quantum anomalies over there, just to real quick show this off, up here for these cyclonic or compact cyclotrons, I essentially changed this guy to recipe 3 so I could start. It was on circuit 15, but now I can get quarks, which are all these guys. And then I also turned off this thing so we're not running I technically have it running, but basically I made it so that unknown particles aren't feeding into here anymore. And the last thing was I upped the power quite a bit. It's nothing crazy, it's just at UV, but you need the quarks to unlock the different casings, like in the scanner. Like, you need all these quarks, so I had to change it anyways, and then I made it go faster. And then the quantum anomalies, specifically, I changed the recipe to be the plasma forge recipe, because you're just guaranteed this, versus if you go through the cyclotron, it's a 1% of a 1% recipe. So I had this running for like at least 1,000 hours, and I only had like 86, so it's substantially better now. Now we're just relying on unknown particles, which we're up to a decent amount, 700, and that's after requesting all those to be crafted, so a lot better there. And I'm sure there was a couple other random like improvements I've done, because I've been going through and like fixing random things that are like well out of date. Like, for example, alloy metal, or mixed metal, I should say. Mixed metal. I was still rocking this recipe right here for 1 ingot. I swapped it over to the 64 ingots because we actually use quite a bit of reinforced glass. But anyways, the main star of the show is this guy. It's been a while since I've shown the previous one on it, but basically what I had going on was a mixture of just spaghetti and not taking the time to properly fix it before to make it prettier, as well as lack of knowledge on my part. So I originally had like this. So obviously this is the main controller. This little subnet controller is what lets us pass all these different P2P channels throughout the base. I had 4 of these. Well, technically I had 5 of them. I had one going in all 4 directions and then one going down. Now you do not need to do this. That's like this little subcontroller handles all of these channels, and there's really no reason to split it out. So it was a little painful, but I did swap it over. Mostly it worked fine, where I just like ran a new dense cable, made the switch really fast, and then put a wireless connector from here to save on running a little bit of cable. I might go back and fix that because this feels a little lazy, but at least for the ones that are real close, we'll see. It's not really necessary by any means or anything, but Now they all go through this guy, which also means that, like, so before, even though like everything on the actual main network could see each other, technically if I had a P2P free on this side, but I needed something that like fed into this side, like I couldn't make a P2P bridge between the two. So now everything goes through here, so I can P2P anywhere. On top of that, I have just buttloads of free channels. Like if I were to click on one of these ones I know I'm not using, there's just piles and piles of not set. So we are golden. And like I said, so what inspired it for the desert base is what I needed more channels. I was coming over to do a P2P thing. I was like, well, while I'm waiting, I really am tired of like having to come and do one by hand. So just rip the band-aid off and make it pretty, and all that fun stuff. And I really like the way it turned out. It's real, it looks really cool with all the colors and stuff. Technically, I don't think I ever will. Like, I think this will legitimately last me till the end of the pack. But if I ever, for some reason, needed just a few more channels, or technically 20, I believe it would be 28, 33, I have 33 more P2Ps free if I needed them. If I did a line of controllers up here, and then filled in the section as well as the backside of the lineup. Actually, no, it'd be 38 because of the 5 from the front as well. So it'd be 10, 10, 14, and 14. But I'm pretty confident I won't need them. I've already got the wire run should I need, or like if I ever go to install it. But kind of like having the back open, even though now in theory I should never need to touch this again, it is, you know, it's good to go. Basically before I just kind of like had half the top built, a little bit of the bottom built. I didn't have any of these center lines. I was like adding as I went. The other thing I did was I completely severed the cord of the old power spline here. Instead, I threw one of the neutronium controllers on for both this and the subnetwork multi-block. So right here you can see it's the neutronium infused controller, which just gives it infinite power forever. So yeah, these guys are both good to go and a lot cleaner. The other thing I did was utilizing the wireless hubs now, and then went around cleaning up because I just kind of had a spaghetti of random wireless connections, kind of like pigtailing all over the place. So now they're all properly coming back here. If I like break one block somewhere, I'm not going to shut down a whole bunch of different processing lines. Of course, though, like I said, I canceled the quark casing recipes just because there were a couple things where I painted things wrong, so things weren't connected. There was one point where I had a little mishap with the matter manipulator and accidentally cleared out a bunch of P2Ps by accident. There was, for some reason, all of them moved over really smooth, except for the stuff along the bottom here. When I swapped over to this controller, for some reason they didn't like that, and all those P2Ps just broke, like, even though there was no good reason for them. So which includes did previously include the random P2Ps, which is like my random power. So basically all the ones that don't have a dedicated Lapitron battery, and I just have them hooked up to the power on my network that's like random UHV power. All those broke. So like while I did that, it just power fails. I had like not too many. I think it was like 20, but it was a little rough and stressful. But you know, got through it. A lot prettier. So my plan for the weekend is basically to finish crafting up these multi-blocks and then try to see what we can do about this grade 8 water so I can start moving onwards and upwards, and then also set up the quantum force transformer and see what I want to do first with that. Actually, I know what I want to do first with that. It's netherite. If I look at this guy, this recipe is substantially better than the netherite line. Netherite line is kind of awful. This is much better. So we'll definitely be utilizing this immediately. Will be the first thing I use with this thing. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I will see you Monday. Goodbye.